Hello friends, I am Dario. I am running for New York State Assembly in the 94th District. I am a citizen just like you. I am somebody who has grown tired and upset over the way business has been conducted in Albany. Our state, our district is suffering. We have huge taxes. We have so many problems I can't even begin. Regulations are crippling our economy. We have less revenue going in. We have more money going out than we have. But I am very hopeful. I came into this country when I was 17 years old, immigrating from Italy with my family. I worked every day since. And I remember a time when this state was #1 in the union, both in job creation and low taxes. We have a huge task before us. Our seniors are being hurt by huge property tax bills. My mom and dad, they live right next door to me, and they're paying over $1,000 per month in property taxes. They're 70 years old. They need a break. And when you look at the way things are going in Albany, especially the last budget that was passed, I went through in detail and I did my homework. They're adding 380 jobs to the thousands that are already in place in Albany. Meanwhile, they're giving us a break by saying, well, we're only going to give you a 2% property tax increase, with the caveat, of course, that counties could go over that amount if they can't afford to do so. And guess what? Many counties around New York State are doing exactly that. Not because they're wasteful, because they have mandates from Albany that are constantly increasing, and they simply can't make ends meet. We have issues that affect our lives on a day-to-day basis. You see, when politicians go to Albany, they make a name for themselves by passing laws. A lot of these laws are well thought out. Some of them are not, and probably the other way around, in the sense that most of them are not very well thought out, in the sense that not only they affect us financially, but they also restrict our freedoms. We have more rules and regulations in this state than just about any other state in the union. And that is why companies do not want to do business in New York. We might as well have a sign when you drive into New York that says, "Welcome to New York," and in parentheses, "Don't even dream of doing business here." That's why companies are leaving. I see it, you see it. So what that means is that we have less opportunities for ourselves, for our children, and less jobs mean less income, while our cost of living keep going up, because Albany can't seem to do without a single penny, and they want more and more and more every year. Now, look, I'm not suggesting that these problems were just created last year or the year before. These problems have been decades in the making. Unfunded mandates are something that is so huge that very few people really understand what's the nature of the problem. I actually read a report that was issued March 1st of 2011 that outlined a preliminary list of steps to make sure that unfunded mandates can be tackled. And this report, in essence, broke down one by one what regulations that have been ill thought out over the years as a result of laws that have been passed, what they do to the system, why it is that they cost us money, and what can be done to change them so that we can save money. I'll give you one example. It costs us $30 million a year to provide refunds for plans for jobs that are bid by state agencies throughout the state. Now that is insane. The way things are done in the commercial and standard enterprise nowadays, and I know this, I have a small contracting firm. We get emails with plans, we look at them. If we feel that it's something that we can bid and successfully try to win, we print those plans with our own printers, or we farm them out to a printing shop at our own cost. That's part of doing business. But in the wisdom of New York State, they let contractors pay for those plans, then allow contractors that are not the successful bidder to get up to $100 back. So it costs us $30 million a year to process maybe a small fraction of $100 transactions. Those are the unfunded mandates that we're talking about here. And like that one, there are so many others. But when you add these numbers up, it goes into billions, not to mention the billions in waste. Now look, I remember coming to the country at a time, it was 1981. It was a time when the country was just shrugging off the ills of the 70s, the ills of the Carter administration, and went back to a wonderful place, the place I fell in love with, my America. I know we can get that back. I am confident things can and will change. We have to work together, we have to work hard, and we have to reach across the aisle. I hear, I don't know how many times from our elected officials, and in particular my opponent, that, well, it's a Democratic-controlled assembly, Republicans are in the minority, there's very little we can do, they won't let us do anything. Well, guess what? When I go around door to door, and I've visited thousands of my fellow neighbors and people in the district, often enough somebody answers the door who happens not to be a Republican or a conservative. A lot of them are Democratic. But guess what? They have the same problems. And when we get down to the issues, we all are in the same boat. Democrats, Republicans, it doesn't matter. We're all citizens, and we're all trying to live a better life. We need leadership. That is what's required in order to reach across the aisle, sit down with anyone from any party, and say, we need relief. We need to come up with ways, one by one, just as I mentioned about the $30 million a year waste on these plans, to tackle these regulations and make the changes that are required in order so that we can get meaningful relief. That's what we need. We need to be smart about reducing regulations so that companies can once again flourish in New York. We need entrepreneurs to come here and do business. That's what's going to allow us and our children to have jobs. These are things that are important, but again, I see a bright future, provided that we make the right choice and send the right representatives to Albany. Well, I thank you very much for your time, and I hope, sincerely hope, that we can turn this around. I need your help. Please vote for me on September 13th. Thank you again, and God bless you.